Welcome back to Investing and Trading Live, sponsored by Trading Academy. As always, I am your host, Josh Lilquist. On the last segment, we covered some topics on how these financial markets work and how to make smart and intelligent decisions within whatever trading account or investment account that you're looking to use, whether it's 401ks, IRAs, or it's a regular retail trading account. There's strategies and techniques that we teach here at the Academy. When we had a lot of people texting in and going to the website for these free trading and investing classes. If you did miss seats to that, simply just text the word investing to the number 210, and that's for 2 seats for a trading and investing class right here in Bloomington or at one of our locations all across the metro. Or you can go to tradingacademy.com and pick your own seat there. When you text in, you'll get a text right back with a link to our landing page, and then you can pick your own date and time there for that free trading and investing class. We appreciate all the followers and subscribers on the podcast, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. Just go to Investing and Trading Live, and also the YouTube. We love the YouTube. We got some people live here today. We appreciate that. Make sure to type any questions in, and we'll answer them as we go here on the YouTube. Just go to Josh Lilquist on YouTube. So I got my good friend Al Connickson back on the show here today, back in the saddle. Al, how you doing today?
I'm feeling pretty good, Josh. How about you?
I'm doing really good. In the last segment, we got into like how the market works, and I want you to kind of elaborate a little bit more on that. More importantly, about what is happening with the overall market conditions. As we know, the Dow has retraced a little bit or retreated, as the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq has went to the upside, and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense that happens, but it is what it is. And we can make decisions and smart decisions no matter what happens with these markets. We have gold and silver that have been looking really great, near the $2,600 mark for gold, the $30 mark for silver, 31, depending on when you listen to the show. And so those are typically, you would call it an inverse correlation with the stock market, but quite frankly, it's pretty much been a correlation. So that's odd as well. As I talked about in the last segment, the dollar, the U.S. dollar, nearing 110. We're actually at 106, almost 107. So that one has been surging as well since October. So typically that is also an inverse correlation. So you can't just trade and invest based off of fundamental information or just things that you can read. You need to use price charts. You need to understand how the price chart is read, and that's supply and demand. Is buyers and sellers in the financial markets. And we know, and we talk about this every single week, the institutions are moving these markets. So that's what the retail traders, the public, that's what us as the public need to do, is identify where are they buying, where are they selling, and then wrap proper capital management around that. So let's continue that discussion, Al, with your first off, your overall take of these markets. But then how are you helping people here at the Academy make smart investing decisions with supply and demand using reading a price chart? I know that's a lot to take at one time.
Have you got 3 hours for my answer?
We'll start with the first one.
Well, let's just start with what's going on in the market. Markets don't like uncertainty. Before the presidential election was finalized, there was that uncertainty. People weren't quite sure what was happening, which brought a lot of volatility into the market. Now that the election has been finalized, we know who the new administration is going to be. And now, with a lot of the things that they're talking about, there's still more uncertainty there. So what I mean by that is there's volatility that we're going to see in this market for some time. What we have seen with the CPI and the PPI both came out this week. The CPI kind of came in where we thought it would, but the PPI, the Producer Price Index, came in a little bit on the hot side. So, there's still some questions there as to what the Fed is going to do. So that's probably going to be one of the things that people will be paying most attention to. But it's also earnings. And we've seen Broadcom, for example, had a blowout earnings report, and that really helped move the market, the Nasdaq, on Friday. And when we've got companies like that a lot of people think are already overvalued, it doesn't take much good news for it to continue to reach more valuation or higher valuation.
That was on Friday?
Pardon me?
That was on the 12th, right?
Correct.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah.
Thursday the 12th.
Thursday, the earnings came out after the market
Yes.
was closed.
Yep.
So it
gapped up is what it did.
exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, I think Broadcom was up substantially, at least pre-market it was.
About 20% is what it did.
That's a nice move for one day.
Decent.
Right. But I think also we need to look at what the market environment is going to be going forward, and it looks very positive for this market. A lot of the big names out there, Ackman, a lot of the hedge fund managers are very encouraged about what they see happening in 2025. Now that we have an idea of what the new administration is going to be doing, it looks like we're going to be having a low tax, reduced regulation environment, which is good for businesses. So we should maybe see some of the companies that didn't participate before start to do well, maybe some of the smaller cap stocks. Really what has driven this market for a long time now has been, a handful of the big tech companies. And we saw that last year, even in the year 2023, Josh, when the S&P 500 was up over 20%, the average investor was down 14%. And the reason that happened is because the movement was concentrated in basically 5 to 7 different stocks.
That's interesting that you mentioned that. I was actually having a conversation yesterday with a group of friends, and they were talking about how they got rid of their brokers and their advisors at that time.
Yeah.
And I said, you guys know that happened when the market was actually up.
Yeah.
And they were so pissed.
Well, you know what we're going to be seeing, Josh, is a lot of people that have gone from I'm a genius to I don't know what the heck I'm doing. That's what's going to happen this year. So you can't always count on what's happened before. You really need to look forward.
I think that disclaimer is future results are not indicative to past performance or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. So you need to concentrate on what is factually happening now. What's going to impact the price of the markets, the value of the markets? What's going to impact the price of individual assets? And I think what we're going to probably see is a market environment where the stock pickers are going to do very well. The people that can identify maybe sectors of the market or individual stocks that do well are probably going to do better than people that are just looking at holding mutual funds and doing that buy and hold strategy. Mm-hmm. And remember that at some point in time, even though we have a great market environment, it looks like we have one coming up, and even though we see these companies like Broadcom and Apple and these companies are really doing well, and one of the reasons that maybe they're not overvalued, even though their stocks are very high and their PE ratios are high, is because technology is allowing them to have those high valuations. Mm-hmm. And but going forward, it may mean that you have to be a little bit more active in going from one sector of the market to another sector of the market if you want to really take advantage of the better returns.
Yeah, and I think that's what a lot of people are seeking is where can they gain odds? Where can they gain an edge in these financial markets?
Yeah, you have to have an edge.
Yeah, and I think that's what we've been teaching a lot of these classes at the Academy, these free trading and investing classes, and that's been a lot of the comments. They're like, "Hey, I want to be able to gain an edge. I'm tired of this little percentage that they're getting from their brokers and their advisors. They say, well, it's better than nothing, but you know what? If better than nothing is still not going to get you to where you want to be, they're saying, I need to do something different. And I want to invite people to these trading and investing classes that we do locally here at the Academy. These are classes where we've taught thousands, just like you, are many strategies which are designed to teach you to make smarter investing decisions. So simply just text the word investing to the number 210-210. That's for 2 seats, one for you and one for a friend. Or go to tradingacademy.com and you can pick your own seat there. We do these classes during the week and the weekends. Al teaches these, I teach these as well. So bring those questions in about whatever that you're looking to get out of the market, and we'll try to answer those the best that we can. So Al, with the people that are coming in that are looking to gain an edge, mm-hmm. they're trying to do that on the income side of it. Because a lot of people have great jobs. I mean, we've been seeing phenomenal people come in lately. Great jobs, great careers. They do well financially, but they still want to be able to create more so they can leave a legacy for their family. That's been a goal. Or they want to create more so they feel secure at retirement. So I want to talk about what are some of those income strategies that you're helping those types of people get into, or what type of assets are best for that so they can reach that promised land?
Yeah, it's important to know that there's a different way of approaching the markets for income than there is for the wealth part of your financial life. And if you're looking for additional income, what does that mean? Well, it means that you have to be able to achieve whatever the outcome is going to be. Hopefully, it's a profitable outcome for you. That's one of the things that we help you achieve. But you have to be able to do that on a short-term basis. If you went out and you applied for a job, and whoever you were interviewing with said, "We want to hire you, and we think you're a perfect candidate for our company, but we're going to pay you in 10 years."
Well, that doesn't sound very
Probably not going to take that job. You
Probably
need
not.
money now. Why do you need money now? Why do you work? Because there's a living cost there.
That's the J.G. Wentworth way.
Yeah, there you
My
go.
money and I need it now.
Yes, and you have to have it
Sticking the
because
head out the window yelling that, right? You remember those commercials, don't you?
I do remember those commercials. I still get emails from them.
You probably do. They're still around. I didn't know that.
So, anyways, what was I saying, Josh?
You were talking about income strategies.
Oh, yeah, that's a good thing to continue then. The income, it has to be something you use that you can get into and out of in a short-term basis. And we always talk about this as being relative to an individual. Each person may have a different idea of what short-term is. And for some people, it is daily, and some people it's maybe weekly or monthly. But whatever you're looking for, whatever time period you feel is adequate or necessary for you, we can help you develop a strategy and use assets to do that.
That's the great thing is you can design a strategy strictly for you.
You have to, actually. No, there is not one size fits all strategy.
I like that.
And some of those assets that our students use. Futures, the futures market, the foreign exchange market, the options market, they can be used both short term, and then you can use options in Forex more mid-term and long-term, but they give you the opportunity not only to achieve that short-term income, but also to do it with leverage. And what we mean by that is that you can have a small amount of money. And again, that's a relative thing, but a small amount of money, whatever that is, that controls maybe 10, 20, 50, or 100 times that amount. That's using leverage.
So it's capital efficiency is what that is.
Totally, absolutely. And if you're looking at doing better than average, and that's not what our students are looking for, then you have to have the ability to use something that gives you the potential for that. And that's where the leverage comes in. And that's not just something that we have our students use. All of the professional traders, all of the big hedge funds, they use these leveraged assets. They're probably not teaching you how to do it. They really don't want you to know how to do it. They want you to feel you need them to help you with any of those things.
Yeah, one of the great things about the markets is it is a level playing field, in my opinion, because the tools, the access to information, the majority of it anyway, is there. I mean, you have this thing called the interweb that is instantaneous, and we can see what's going on at the same time. That brings the playing field level, in my opinion.
It gives you the potential. You have to make it level, but it is possible.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Obviously, you need a strategy, and that's the difference. Is the difference between the people that know what they're doing and the people that don't is having a strategy. They've been taught, they've been mentored on how to do that. But also, all the tools are the same as well. You know, the tools that they have access to, we have those as well as far as trading and investing tools. It's just using the proper ones. And that's what we train and teach here at the Academy is what are the right tools? What are the right strategies? How do you make those smart trading and investing decisions in those income accounts? So I have a class specifically on income strategies where we talk about those different assets that dive into what is leverage is, how do you be more efficient with your capital, and then how do you use the right tools within those strategies. So simply to come into one of these free trading and investing classes, just text the word investing to the number 210 for 2 seats. That's one for you and a friend. Text investing to the number 210 for 2 seats for that trading and investing class, or you can go to tradingacademy.com. We have these classes during the week. We also have them on the weekends, even in the evenings, so anybody can attend. If you have a goal or an objective, it is, it's sad to say, but the new year is on the way. We might have some New Year's resolutions. If finances is one of them, get started today. Text investing to the number 210. Coming up next, we got more wealth strategies, also income strategies during that wealth time. This is Josh and Al, Investing and Trading Live. Stay tuned. We will be right back.